A beautiful man, beautiful faith, dressed like a fictional RPG character. I mean, he looks like a monk straight out of, like, the 12th century. You know, he's got a long beard, he's always got his rosary out. Satan takes a fearful beating when this man walks down the street. That's so, like, going on the positive end, um, there are probably a handful of priests in my life that are the reason why I remained in the faith. And I think this is kind of the direction that we wanted to go with this, is that one positive priest undoes 50 negative priests. I'm gonna share a priest that is pretty positive. He was actually recognized by the Pope, um, or rather, one of his activities was, I think, about 5 years back. But anyway, he's Father Michael Champagne, um, and he has been kind of an example for me, even though I probably haven't talked to the man in, like, 8 years, but just one of those formative people in my life. He has started a religious order. When I went out to his, monastery, because it's the Community of Jesus Christ Crucified, I think he has something like 50 lay members, a few sisters, and a few brothers now. There's like 2 or 3 priests under him, and every priest that went there to discern has come out a better person, whether or not, they've stuck with the order. Um, but his whole ministry is going out to the margins, and most of what he did was visit people in prison and prepare people for death. And there have been many miracles attributed to the man. He has never, and I did discernment weeks over there, I did weekends over there, I did retreats over there. He never once mentioned any of the miracles that were attributed to him personally. Um, the only thing I ever got him to say when I finally asked him about it was, he said, "Well, sometimes you pray for people with cancer that are on their deathbed and they die, and other times you pray for people with cancer that are on their deathbed and they just kinda get up and live." And, it was kind of this, like, roundabout way of saying it, but he's also praying with hundreds of people that are dying, so, um, a beautiful man, beautiful faith, dressed like a fictional RPG character. I mean, he looks like a monk straight out of, like, the 12th century. He's got a long beard, he's always got his rosary out. Satan takes a fearful beating when this man walks down the street. Um
That's
And
quite a positive thing to
that's
say.
one. Right, right. No, I mean, like, if you were like, "What do monks look like?" It looks like this dude. Like, if he was wearing Kevlar underneath you know, his robes, it wouldn't surprise me. Um, but the man was genuine, and one of the things that he did was he's kind of mechanic savvy. I think his training, he was either a professional or engineer or trained as an engineer, one or the other. But he loved to work on cars, and he bought an old ambulance and fixed it up and painted on the side "spiritual care unit." And he would park it at, like, parks or across the street from churches or on holy days of obligation in public spots, and people have come to know it as a place to go to confession, and he probably hears 30 to 50 confessions every time he stops. And so, does he believe in the power of confession and the power of the sacraments? Yes. And he doesn't need to go around saying that he does. He doesn't need to go around saying that he prays for people and they get better of terminal illnesses. He doesn't need to say any of those things, because his very actions would dictate that to me. Because nobody, if they didn't believe that, would go through the trouble that he goes through. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to fix up old cars, but your actions need to dictate that you actually believe what the teachings are. And if you do that, you've got a safety net a mile wide to make mistakes, you know, to have errors. There are things that he said that I disagree with, but I never question. He never makes me question my faith in Jesus Christ.